beautiful being. At least in my view, anyway. It's okay if you don't see yourself that way. Welcome. Welcome to this video. Welcome to this channel. My name is Arthur. I teach people about the dangers of modernized, watered-down neo-non-duality, often called Neo-Advaita, but that's very specific. On a more broad level, I help people understand what is spiritual bypass and how to recover from it. Spiritual bypass being a misuse of spiritual teachings and practices in a way that it's actually not spiritual and actually becomes very harmful and addictive. So today I'm going to talk about something that I have found profoundly helpful in my own journey of healing, and that's support groups. There's a lot of beautiful 12-step support groups. And today I'm going to acknowledge a couple of them and just say a little bit about what the 12 steps are and why they can be helpful. So the 12-step movement or 12-step groups were started in the 1940s to help people recover from alcoholism. And the idea was that through surrendering to a higher power that you get to define, one can have a spiritual transformation and overcome severe addictions. That was the root idea, and it teaches a spiritual way of life that's actually very balanced and healthy and integrated, of seeking guidance in religious language, seeking God's will, in more spiritual language, learning how to connect to our intuition and higher self and be guided, and also to take inventory of ourselves. What are our shortcomings? Where are places that we've harmed people, and actually make amends to them? And then learning how to find serenity amidst life's challenges and amidst situations that are uncomfortable. And all of this is done in community, which is very beautiful. And so for anyone with a severe behavioral addiction, whether it be alcohol, drugs, food, gambling, internet, now they even have Media Addicts Anonymous. Those things have been profoundly helpful for me in addressing behavioral addictions. And there's also programs that deal more with what are called internal addictions, such as codependence. There's Codependence Anonymous, or Al-Anon, which is for people who have had a family member or friend who struggled with alcoholism. There's ACOA, Adult Children of Alcoholics, which is focused around spiritual practices with inner child work to recover from the trauma. It's a very traumatic experience to have a close relationship with an alcoholic or an addict. And there's also a beautiful program which I just recently found out about called TAR-ANON, TAR-Anon, Toxic and Abusive Relationships Anonymous, which anyone who's had a close relationship with a Neo-Advaita or Neo-Non-Duality teacher might want to check that one out, because it is a very traumatic experience to have a close relationship with a Neo-Advaita or a fake spiritual teacher. So these programs, none of them are perfect. I'm just going to say that right from the start. The people in them are not perfect, and it's a profound form of peer support. They all teach spiritual principles that are very grounded. These programs are not about sitting around and asking philosophical questions. Meditation is a part of it, but the idea is to meditate so that you can engage with life more. Thank you for saying hi. I can't quite read the name. I'll get my glasses. So that's one of the things I love about 12-step programs, is that they're very much focused on grounded spiritual practices. Carol Guzman, hello. Thanks for saying hi. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about them. Now, you have to be careful. In any spiritual group, there's going to be narcissists, there's going to be people who are trying to control other people. So it's not like you can... One of the things I've learned in my recovery journey is I've got to be discerning. So none of these programs are perfect, but they have profound medicine. And of course, there's non-12-step programs like Recovery Dharma, which is a Buddhist-based one, or Refuge Recovery, which is also a Buddhist-based one, or SMART, S-M-A-R-T, which is a completely secular, non-spiritual, yet very much self-help program. So I generally don't leave comments open, but I'm going to leave comments open on this one. And if anyone has any questions about, let's see. I'm going to do that down the road. Right now I've got a lot going on in my personal life. So down the road, because I want to support anyone on that path of seeking recovery from addiction or from some of the internal addictions like codependence. TAR Anon is very interesting. They point out that people can become addicted to seeking out toxic relationships. Addiction can be anything. It's anything that can dissociate us from ourselves, which is why I've said all along that spiritual bypass and Neo-Advaita is an addiction, in my view. So thank you so very much for joining in. Down the road, I'm going to open up some discussion around this topic to support anyone on it, finding the resources they need. And that's everything I have for now. Thank you so very much for dropping by. Take care. Much love.